What's up guys, don't swipe away. Here Mox Gaming, if you're curious about the top 50 gacha games of global revenue and downloads for November 2023, you've come to the right place. I'll be sharing the list with you. All this data comes straight from Sensor Tower, so you know it's reliable. Stay tuned and let's get started. So you might be wondering why some games didn't make it onto this list. I only include gacha games that I believe are worth playing and worth your time to download. If there are any specific game details that you'd like to know but aren't mentioned here, please leave a comment and I'll be sure to respond to you. Now, let's jump right into the rankings, starting from the 41st spot and going up to the 50th spot. The top 50 ranking, Brave 9's revenue reaching $140,000 and downloads reaching 3,000 in November. The October revenue has even increased by 39 compared to October. Now let's dive into the friendly events in November. Brave 9 released Nov 23rd update. More new in-game content awaits you with this new game update. 2 new costumes, 2 new set effects, and Legend Mercenary renewal. The top 49 ranking, Action Tao 9's revenue reaching $230,000 and downloads reaching 4,000 in November. The October revenue has even decreased by 7 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. November's surprise event is live. Starting from November 28th, take advantage of the perks and clear missions to obtain items. And on November 21st, Mizuki Shiranui's EO Phantom Mermaids package including her time animal costume and various materials will be released. The top 48 ranking, Counterside's revenue reaching $240,000 and downloads reaching 50,000 in November. The October revenue has even decreased by 11 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the bi-friendly events in November. Counterside released patch notes on November 29. Include custom pickup. You can select 3 times in total in this pickup, and you do not choose all 3 employees at once. New operator and event currency drop event. The top 47 ranking, Girls Frontline's revenue reaching $290,000 and downloads reaching 40,000 in November. The October revenue has even decreased by 10 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the EI-friendly events in November. Anchored Construction is available for PTES App SBS 110 and Appseen Neck from 28th November. Dark Dungeon Rerun will be available from Nov 28th to DC. 4th, exchange tickets are calculated in each pool separately. The top 46 ranking, Lissa Goddess of Raj's revenue reaching $340,000 and downloads reaching 120,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 190 compared to October. The top 45 ranking, Tokyo Go's revenue reaching $410,000 and downloads reaching 130,000 in November. Tokyo Ghoul Break the Chains was just globally released on November 3rd. I have a dedicated video explaining it earlier. Interested friends can search this channel to check it out. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. The top 44 ranking, Alchemy Stars' revenue reaching $490,000 and downloads reaching 20,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 25 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. Alchemy Stars released limited time event. Maritime Silk Road and Etched Upon the Ocean PV launch. The top 43 ranking, Brown Dust 2's revenue reaching $550,000 and downloads reaching 60,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 33 compared to October. Now, let's dive into that. Friendly events in November, Brown Dust 2 released character, Pack 6 of Tales of Sword PV sharing event, and Sage of Blue Cloud's Ulstein PV sharing event. The top 42 ranking, Eversoul's revenue reaching $550,000 and downloads reaching 50,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 14 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. Eversoul released December content calendar. Let's take a look at the content, events, and souls coming up this month. The top 41 ranking, Guardian Tales' revenue reaching $600,000 and downloads reaching 80,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 34 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the EI-friendly events in November. World 17 is here. Eager to learn more about Guardian Tales and its story? Go on, update the game and start your adventures in this new world. The top 40 ranking, Street Fighter Duel's revenue reaching $620,000 and downloads reaching 80,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 21 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the EI-friendly events in November. All dressed up and ready to fight. Trendy Guile and Pharaoh Sagat are now available in Street Fighter Duel. You can't beat a sonic boom that looks this good. Trendy Guile is ready for anything. The top 39 ranking summoners. Rock Kreese's revenue reaching $650,000 and downloads reaching $30,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 13 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the Atrath-friendly events in November. Summoners War Chronicles announced North America 1-year anniversary. The top 38 ranking Limbus companies. Revenue reaching $660,000 and downloads reaching 20,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 120 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the trendy events in November. Project Moon released 7th anniversary greetings and new characters.
공격하는 것이 묵직한 한 방을 내기 어렵다면 한 곳을 빠르게 열어.
The top 37 ranking, Neural Cloud's revenue reaching $700,000 and downloads reaching 40,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 24 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the R-friendly events in November. Neural Cloud released the first anniversary version will be available on November 14th. The pressure of this showdown is nigh unbearable. At the edge of your gaze lies a single ray of hope. The top 36 ranking, Grand Summoners' revenue reaching $700,000 and downloads reaching 50,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 7 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the trendy events in November. The new Demon Lord is out now. Check out this cool intro video before heading in-game to begin. The top 35 ranking, Aethergazer's revenue reaching $800,000 and downloads reaching 80,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 30 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the Raw-friendly events in November. The Path of Akkadian event will be available soon. Keep fighting the incoming enemy waves and survive for 2 minutes. And the Precise Scan Dawn Rhapsody will be available soon. The following modifiers will receive a drop rate boost. The top 34 ranking, Dolphin Wave's revenue reaching $800,000 and downloads reaching 6,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 15 compared to October. Now let's dive into the friendly events in November. The Dolphin Festival Gacha is now available. In this Gacha, Iterashio and Giortomo from the Dolphin Festival make their debut. Additionally, a new festival memory is also introduced. The top 33 ranking, Dislight's revenue reaching $800,000 and downloads reaching 30,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 33 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. Dislight released Golden City Challenge. On 17th, the Golden City reopens for an all-new pop quiz. Unlocks after clearing story 113 on easy mode. The top 32 ranking, Shadowverse's revenue reaching $900,000 and downloads reaching 20,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 60 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. Battle Pass missions will be updated on November 30. Complete specific missions to get emblems and sleeves of Spoiled Mermanger and Herver from Order Ship.
The ring will endure.
The top 31 ranking, Echoclipse's revenue reaching $1 million. On $100,000 and downloads reaching 80,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 15 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. The new limited time event Raging Flames is currently underway. Join the event and exchange for luxurious rewards. The top 30 ranking, Tower of Fantasy's revenue reaching $1,200,000 and downloads reaching 140,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 8 compared to October. Now let's dive into the friendly of events in November. Version 3.4 is coming. Time to explore what's buried under the snow with Nanyan. In additional double rewards for World Boss chests during the event, Wanderers can open World Boss chests and receive double rewards each time you open them. Don't miss out. The top 29 ranking, Princess Connect. Redive's revenue reaching $1,400,000 and downloads reaching 20,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 1 compared to October. Now let's dive into the friendly events in November. New character announcement on 30th November. 3-star Pecorine will make her debut. Additionally, a pickup Gacha with increased appearance rates will be held. Dre Raven's revenue reaching $1,600,000 and downloads reaching $100,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 19 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the O-friendly events in November. Grey Raven released new Steph X coding, Nikke Uso 1000 PV and Bambinata Vitrum PV.
もいいからかかってきなさい。防御できる。
The top 27 ranking. Fortress Saga's revenue reaching $1,600,000 and downloads reaching 260,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 18 compared to October. The top 26 ranking, Path to Nowhere's revenue reaching $1,900,000 and downloads reaching 90,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 4 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. Path to Nowhere release giveaway event. Time-limited event starts on Nov 28. Insects entwine in webs, shadows drape the woods. And adds tire purchase limited offer, available from Nov 28 to DC 12th. During the event period, the new 2-star attire Reroll. Catering is available for purchase for a limited time.
I almost forgot to get my dress ready.
The top 25 ranking, Evertale's revenue reaching $2,100,000 and downloads reaching 170,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 12 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. Evertale release limited time recruit. King Arthur is now available at an increased chance up rate for a limited time only. Let's take a look at a comparison between the English server and the Japanese server in terms of characters. Guys, I feel like we're not playing the same game. Haha. The top 24 ranking, Tower of God New World's revenue, reaching $2,200,000 and downloads reaching 70,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 33 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. Tower of God's New World release update on 29th November and 7 Nights collab. You can get up to 400 collab summons. Meet Rachel, Yanhee, and Shane. Don't miss the various events and rewards. The top 23 ranking. And I Know Kuni Crossworlds' revenue reaching $2,400,000 and downloads reaching 26,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 6 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. Night no Kuno C. Crossworlds released the latest update. Challenge yourself with a recently increased raid difficulty level. Assemble your team and prepare for a powerful raid boss. The top 22 ranking. Dungeon Hunter 6's revenue reaching $4 million and downloads reaching 440,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 37 compared to October. The top 21 ranking, Fire Emblem Heroes' revenue reaching $4 million and downloads reaching 20,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 10 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. On Novi 2.8, Gulvi Golden Seer and Kivishar. Seer of the Past from game will appear as Mythic Heroes in a double Mythic Heroes summoning event. You'll also be able to summon previously released 5-star Legendary Heroes and Mythic Heroes. The top 20 ranking, Azure Lane's revenue reaching $4,200,000 and downloads reaching 60,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 3 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the IA-friendly events in November. Azure Lane released of the Ninja Scrolls. Azure Flash Event PV, the new collab event. The Ninja Scrolls. Azure Flash will be available soon. This event will introduce new collab characters, including Asuka and more. In addition, Azure Lane announced Black Friday Lucky Bag 2023, which has prepared a special one-time limited Lucky Bag for the Black Friday holiday. This exclusive Lucky Bag has a guaranteed chance of acquiring AL2D skin and comes with 35 cubes and other goodies. The top 19 ranking. Honkai Impact 3rd's revenue reaching $4,200,000 and downloads reaching 200,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 3 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the A-friendly events in November. Version 7.0 in-game perks. Participate in the special limited time returnee event to get the selected S-rank battlesuit in as little as 15 days. In addition, new SP battlesuit Cosmic Expression debuts. Gricio's new speed battlesuit Cosmic Expression will debut in version 7.1. The top 18 ranking, Dragonheir Silent Gods' revenue reaching $4,300,000 and downloads reaching 920,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 33 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. The Blessed Summons II is live now. The chances of summoning the legendary hero below are greatly increased. Don't hesitate to take this precious opportunity and summon your dream hero. The top 17 ranking, Afkarina's revenue reaching $4,300,000 and downloads reaching 120,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 5 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. The Midwinter Gift Gala Fan Art Contest officially begins. AFK Arena prepared cash, Shamira figurine, souvenir blind box, and in-game rewards for winners. The top 16 ranking, Epic 7's revenue reaching $4,400,000 and downloads, reaching 80,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 10 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the age-friendly events in November. The year-end fan RTT contest is about to begin. Not only will the winners get some amazing prizes, but also the fan art created by our heirs will be transformed into the top 15 ranking. The Eminence in Shadow RPG's revenue reaching $5,600,000 in downloads, reaching 250,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 15 compared to October. Now let's dive into the AE-friendly events in November. The Eminence in Shadow RPG celebrates its first anniversary with login rewards, special mission bonuses, double material acquisition, and daily mission stamina doubling rewards. Dive into the festivities and grab those rewards. The top 14 ranking, Heaven Burns Red's revenue, reaching $6,400,000 and downloads reaching 19,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 39 compared to October. Now let's dive into the friendly events in November. Heaven Burns Red announced the new story event letters on the backs is underway. Dive into a special story featuring Juliet Date. Don't miss out on the excitement. The top 13 ranking, Memento Mori's revenue reaching $7,400,000 and downloads reaching 100,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 20 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the O-friendly events in November. Memento Mori announced that the game has been awarded numerous awards from around the world in the Google Play Best of 2023. The top 12 ranking, Marvel Snap's revenue, reaching $7,400,000 and downloads reaching 450,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 3 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. The top 11 ranking, the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross's revenue, reaching $7,600,000 and downloads reaching 200,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 9 compared to October. Now let's dive into the friendly events in November. Get ready to celebrate the upcoming 4.5th Anniversary Festival Eve with an exciting check-in event. Snag those draw tickets and brace yourselves for the special Jump Step Up draw. Reach Step 10 and choose your very own SR hero. The top 10 ranking, 7 Nights Idle Adventures revenue, reaching $7,900,000 and downloads reaching 330,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 36 compared to October. Now let's dive into the high-friendly events in November. The November 17th update for 7 Nights Idle Adventure is in the books. Brace yourselves for the arrival of legendary heroes Gan Yu, Da Qiao, and Zhao Yun. But that's not all. There's a brand new area to explore, Never Seen Woods. And here's a little extra treat for you. 7 Nights Idle Adventure is hosting a Thanksgiving dish basket giveaway. The top 9 ranking, Blue Archive's revenue reaching $9,500,000 and downloads reaching 230,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 15 compared to October. Now let's dive into the friendly events in November. The Dragon and Tortoise working together for a better future event. Story has officially kicked off. Your mission, Sensei, is to bring order to Shanhaijing amidst the chaos. Plus, get ready for a unique rerun pickup recruitment starting on 11/1 featuring the sought-after students. 3-star Azusa, 3-star Mashiro, and 3-star Hifuma. The top 8 ranking, Reverse 1999's revenue reaching $10 million and downloads reaching 1,800,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 150 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. Exciting news from Reverse 1999. They've just dropped the version 1.2 trailers and Nightmare at Green Lake. Don't miss out on the Winter Warmth sign-in event, featuring 2 parts and a total of 14 unilogs. Also catch the limited-time pickup banner Whisper of the Woods from Novov 9 to Nov 21 featuring the 6-star Droovies IE and 5-star Click Necrologist. It's time for some thrilling gameplay and awesome rewards. The top 7 ranking, Raid Shadow Legends' revenue reaching $15 million and downloads reaching 600,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 3 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the friendly events in November. From Thursday, November 30 to Friday, December 1, we're giving you 10x the chance of summoning Zira, Warrior Princess from Ancient Shards. In addition, Update 8.8.0 for Plarium Play goes live today, and it introduces a brand new events calendar, UIS improvements, plus the option to watch Raid Call of the Arbiter Limited Series via Plarium Play. The top 6 ranking, Musum Pretty Derby's revenue reaching $16 million and downloads reaching 30,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 25 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the art-friendly events in November. Pretty derby. The 5th event has something special in store. The 3rd performance. Yells is gearing up to rock the Ariake Arena on February 3rd and 4th in 2024. Get ready for an unforgettable experience. The top 5 ranking Fate Grand Orders revenue, reaching $16 million and downloads reaching 150,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 22 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the H-only events in November. Jump into the excitement with Fate Grand Orders. Interlude Campaign Part 18 Pickup Summon. Increase your chances to snag the 5-star Galatea. The Thanksgiving 2023 Pickup Summon is also underway, featuring the 5-star Semiramis. Don't miss out. Plus, enjoy special consecutive login bonuses. The top 4 ranking Arknights' revenue, reaching $24 million and downloads reaching 200,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 311 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the trendly events in November. Check out the official trailer for Arknights. Pinch Out Experimental Operation. Get ready for the action as Pinch Out Experimental Operation goes live on December 5. And don't miss your chance to grab Marth Sports Line. Scotty, available in the store until December 12, 2023. It's time to dive into the excitement. The Nikke's revenue reaching $33 million and downloads reaching 460,000 in November. The November revenue has even increased by 119 compared to October. Now let's dive into the eye-friendly events in November. Goddess of Victory Nikke has clinched awards in 3 categories and snagged 3 honorable mentions in Google Play's Best of 2023. Check out the final page of our developer's note for December 2023. And the moment we've all been waiting for, the hard mode for Alone Survivor, is officially underway. Simply choose the hard mode at the Alone Survivor event interface and dive into the intense battle. The top 2 ranking Honkai Star Rail's revenue, reaching $36 million and downloads, reaching 1,400,000 in November. The November revenue has even decreased by 53 compared to October. Now, let's dive into the trendly events in November. Star Rail has kicked off the version 1.5 update titled the Crepuscule Zone. Prepare to welcome envoys of wraiths and guests of a stranger nature. Additionally, the game has launched the Planar Fisher event, featuring a double drop rate for planar ornaments for a limited time. Throughout this event, players can enjoy double rewards from immersion devices in the simulated universe. Dive in and make the most of these exciting updates. The top 1 ranking, Genshin Impact's revenue reaching $98 million and downloads reaching 3,200,000 in November. Incredible income. That's enough to buy hamburgers for how many years? I'm sorry. The November revenue has even increased by 22 compared to October. Now let's dive into the eye-friendly events in November. On November 3rd, Genshin Impact released the version 4.2 Masquerade of the Guilty trailer. In addition, Genshin Impact also announced that the event wishes Twilight Arbiter, Azure Excursion, and Epitome Invocation will be available on November 28. Following the version 4.2 update, travelers will face a new adversary, the all-devouring Narwhal. Alright folks, that concludes our top 50 mobile gacha games. Global revenue downloads tier list for November 2023. You can find the timestamps in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe my channel. I'll see you next video.